This Thursday night football props edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
This is Jim Mora, and you're listening to SGPN. Let her ride.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Ciao. Ryan, if you're watching live on YouTube, which I know a lot of people just listen to the audio, so they're like, why is Ryan talking Italian? He's got his Italian jacket on.
Gabagool.
He's got his Dago Dimes t-shirt on. Ryan, this is a double header for us as we did a World Series preview with Scott and Malcolm, and then previously last night also a bonus episode. We've already put out the college episode. We've already done an NBA season preview with the guys from the NBA Gambling Podcast. I mean, this is Tuesday night, and this is our fourth podcast of the week, Ryan. # no days off.
There were a couple people that slid in the DMs. They were like, "Hey, what's up with no baseball talk?" And I was like,
yeah,
all right,
got you some baseball talk.
And
But
they,
really,
hey, you gonna talk about that basketball? And I said, all right, we'll talk about the basketball.
yeah, I mean, honestly, football is our bread and butter, but good to bring on the guys, talk a little shop,
Yes.
and remind people we have a ton of great podcasts on the network. So hopefully you check out the NBA Gambling Podcast all through the season, MLB Gambling Podcast, get you ready for the World Series. Of course, toss everyone a 5-star Spotify rating. It only takes 5 seconds. Ryan, we're hanging around. I keep saying we will release the Second Chance Survivor if the audience is interested in it. We got to beat Colin Cowherd or get into the top 20 of the sports podcasts on Spotify.
How are we looking?
Pretty good. The Colin Cowherd, he's elusive because every time we catch up on him, he moves up a little bit. He's running scared. He's at 25 right now. We're at 34. We've been as close as like 2 or 3 away. I think it's just one more push of the reviews. And shout out to everyone who's given the 5-star on Spotify, the Apple Podcast reviews. Again, all that is massive. Helps us keep the network free and keep things going, man. So appreciate that. But yeah, we're going back to football, talking Thursday night. Should be a good game. Rams at home against the Vikings. Joining us on the line from the NBA Gambling Podcast, the WNBA Gambling Podcast, Mr. Terrell Furman, the villain himself. What's happening, Terrell?
Oh, nothing. Good. NBA's back. We're having some sweats going on. Bronny James makes his debut, and there's guys with 100K on the under half a point. So we're in for a sweat here.
Oh man, because Kramer and I were talking about Bronny James's point total was sitting at a half. Part of me wanted to take the higher over a half just for comedy's sake, but Eddie, he had a tip in, he almost got it. LeBron set him up for a nice 3. He bricked it. It would be. I mean, I wish I had a large amount of money that I could just throw on the Bronny James prop because, as Terrell mentioned, it's been an incredible sweat. Just someone who's watching.
At some point, he's
afar.
going to get the point. He's going to get a point at some point. So if you keep setting it at a half, at some point you're going to lose.
So I see this in the youth sports streets. It's you have these overzealous parents who have a slightly different view of their child than maybe the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're openly talking about how awesome their kid is at the dinner with the rest of the team. Parents, they're talking to the coach about how their kid needs to get more playing, like that guy. And they have no clue that their kid's really not that good, like not special at all. Is that what's happening here? Because otherwise he's just being he's being a horrible parent. I mean, he's being great in that he's setting up his son with NBA money. but he's also setting up his son to be a laughing stock failure.
Well, I mean, again, if you're LeBron James's son, you're in a tough, weird spot. Also, there's people in the world that you would feel worse for than LeBron James's son, but
your younger brother's way better than you.
Yeah, it's weird. He's in this weird middle ground where it's like he's not so bad that there's no way you could ever put him on a basketball court, but he's clearly not good enough to be in the NBA. We were talking with Terrell before the show, like, yeah, okay, hey, you got to play a game with your dad. Now let's send you down to the G League, actually develop your offensive game, and maybe you'll get there, maybe you won't, but then it will feel better for Bronny to actually work for it, get there, improve his game, and then get to be an NBA player for real, and not have this kind of like take your son to work day thing they're doing in the NBA. Again, I'm jealous that my dad never took me along to start the NBA, and certainly like kind of a fun deal. So I'm not trying to be that much of a hater, but I think for Bronny, G League would be his best bet, right, Terrell?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just a chance to play. Like he's not going to get many minutes playing
Yeah.
on this roster, and whatever he gets now is going to be forced. So the fact of just being able to play is a great leg up. And I mean, I compare it to Rob Dillingham, who is sitting on the Timberwolves bench in warmups, no chance of playing in the game right now.
Yeah.
Yet Rob Dillingham was, the sixth player of the conference for the SEC for Kentucky, great player, really, really high draft pick, and he's on the bench. Like, talent in the NBA is just really, really good. Like, there's a lot of really good basketball players. So Bronny just needs a chance to play. Like, he's not going to get a chance to play for the Lakers for real.
You know what his best case would have been? Duquesne.
Yeah, no, really.
Like,
he should have stayed in college.
away in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and really have, honestly, you're right, Ryan. Like him going away from LA, having, now obviously he's Bronny James, so nothing of his growing up would be normal, but at least as close as you could get to a normal college experience.
I feel like people from Pittsburgh might not know who he is.
Hit up Permane Brothers, drink some Yinglings. Like he might be able to blend in a little bit in Pittsburgh, work on his game. But again, it is the NBA, and of course, subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast, to Terrell and the guys. Get you ready for the I mean, say what you will about the NBA, Ryan. They play a lot of games, a lot of chances to make a lot of bets, and the NBA is awesome, especially Underdog. The amount of markets. I mean, again, they're hanging Bronny James fantasy projections. Just kind of shows you how deep they go. And all the DGen activity you can get into. I won't lock myself into the pick yet for the game, Vikings Rams, but
what are you worried about?
Oh, and I'm going to give myself we do the picks podcast tomorrow, but I'm certainly leaning a certain way.
Leaning?
Well, right. But that's
leaning?
why I'm not I would never give out a lean.
Here it goes. Here it goes.
I would never give out a lean.
Do you realize what's happening on the internet right now? There's a whole community.
Our war on leans is
pretty
hilarious.
They just clipped that one portion and didn't even go to the rest. They just clipped you say leaning.
No, obviously I'm gonna find myself on the way to the Rams. I'm
Sean, Noah's uncle or his family member.
Yeah, the biting kneecap trend.
Invented that amazing trend. Huge sample size. I mean, yeah, it does seem like it seems pretty obvious which side I'm going to be on. Maybe you'll join me.
So obviously the Vikings did just play the Lions. You got to keep riding the biting kneecap trend, but I mean, I saw Joe in the chat saying Vikings by 1 million. I think the fact that the market and the money is going to be poured in on the Vikings is going to make the Rams play that much more. Make that much more sense. So I'm sure I'll be locking in the Rams. I don't know if I'll be locking it up, Ryan. What's your level of confidence on this Rams team at home? And obviously the big story is they get Cooper Kupp back. It sounds like Hawkinson may be going for the Vikings. I can't imagine he's going to be 100%.
We've seen him be a decoy in the past. I would say that. What I typically would say, Sean, we shouldn't play Thursday night in a contest. I might accidentally forget to give you that warning.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'd say it's pretty high.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty high.
Terrell, what's your handicap on the game? It does seem like the sharp play certainly will be taking the Rams at home as a home dog, getting Cooper Kupp back. They were probably looking ahead past the Raiders. I'm sure if that was a playoff game, they could have tried to Cooper Kupp out. I guess the matchup I'm worried about is the Rams offensive line against the Vikings defensive line, but Vikings, I think this is a tough spot for them. You know, brutal game against the Lions, and now you got to go on the road after a tough division loss.
Kneecaps are sore.
What do you make of the matchup in general?
So, trying to find any way to fade the Vikings is possible. If you look at them, the pass defense actually hasn't been that good in terms of they've given up a lot of yards. They've been good of limiting scores. They've been good of allowing some of that stuff in garbage time. But I think it's still something there to the fact that they're not that good actually guarding the pass. And so if you give Matthew Stafford an opportunity to absolutely cook, and I understand the Cooper Kupp concerns, but if he's okay, he's going to get 50 million targets here, and he's going to win. He's going to win 25 million of them, of those 50 million. So he's going to be good. I think that this is a chance where Sam Darnold, who has looked great, has a chance to finally look like the Sam Darnold we all know. And if he does, then they're going to lose, and they're due.
Yes, they're due. I think the way you look at the Vikings is this is going to be their losing streak, and then maybe off the long rest they figure some things out. They get back. The market undervalues them, and then maybe we can hop back on the Vikings. My first prop for Thursday Night Football. It's chalky as hell, but Cooper Kupp over 6.5 receptions. They can't make this number high enough. He had 14 catches for 110 yards against the Lions. And that was with, the Rams not even getting the possession in overtime. He probably could have got more. Vikings have allowed 102 catches to the receiver so far this season. That's second in the NFL, which is crazy because a lot of teams have played 7 games. The Rams have only played 6. Number 1 is the Lions, who've also played 6 games. But I just don't see how he doesn't get like 14, 15 targets. He's going to be a huge part of that offense. I mean, Cooper Kupp smashes Kramer. We were talking in the office of whether going receptions, yards. I like the receptions better. Obviously, I do like the yards as well. But what do you like here for your first prop?
Well, I would join you on the Cooper Kupp over. On the whatever you want, I guess, and I'll have something fun cooked up a little later with Cooper Kupp. But I think just the receiving yard. I mean, Cooper Kupp 100 yards is 3-1.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah. Cooper Kupp.
I mean, that's a
66.5 receiving yards is what I'm going to play.
Okay.
Over. And the other thing I'd point out is if you look at what this number was to start the season against those Lions, it was 66.5 where we're at now. Well, Puka was playing in that game, was he not, Sean?
Against the Lions? Yeah.
Yes. Then Puka went out. Then the line for Cooper Kupp went up to 83.5. Cooper Kupp then got hurt, has missed a bunch of games, and now the number is depressed back to where it was when Puka was playing.
Yeah.
Puka's not playing this weekend, as far as I know.
No, he's back at practice limited, but this is like seems like his first week of practice. I would be really surprised.
That tells me like they're between, like throw out the fact that last year when he came back off the injury against the Eagles, Sean, what did he do? He had a monster game.
Yeah.
8 catches, 118 yards. Game after that, 7 catches, 148 yards and a touchdown against the Cardinals. So yeah, the toy's back. Puka probably not. If Puka is somehow out there, I can't imagine he's going to be the feature piece of the offense. So Cooper Kupp over 66.5 receiving yards feels like a free square. And and I've been very hot on Thursday nights. I would point out.
Well, I feel like we also have to take. Well, we'll see, Ryan. But the kicking props have been very good. We hit our.
All right, we can talk about that.
We hit our underdog.
Smoking
entry.
the kicking props.
Yeah, smoking the kicking prop. Our underdog entry was a massive cash.
Oh.
The Justin Herbert passing yards, that was never in doubt. There was laddering opportunities that Ryan gave out, and then Dicker the kicker with Justin Herbert, and then we had the free square thanks to Underdog on Kyler. So that was a crazy
juicy.
Yeah, that was a crazy cash. Terrell, what do you like? What's first prop that's jumping out at you?
Well, I mean, I stay prepared because I was prepared to give out Cooper Kupp 6.5 receptions, and I knew that was going to get taken. I knew the receiving yards was then going to get taken next, so I was going to be forced to go to. When's the last time we've got plus money at Cooper Kupp to score a touchdown? Come on now, like what's
Yeah,
going
let's
on
go.
here?
Smart.
And to add on to all of your points, to make all of our plays sound great again, the Vikings are last in DVOA to number one receivers. In fact, if you look at what they've done against number one receivers, Amon-Ra went off 8 for 112 and a touchdown. Garrett Wilson had 13, 101 and a touchdown. Nico Collins had 4 for 86. Debo Samuel had 8 for 166. So yeah, I think this is a really, really good spot to fade a team who really, really isn't that good against the top guys.
It's making a lot of sense.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I like the receptions. I like the yards. It's chalky as hell, but yeah, you got to be on Cooper Kupp. Fading Cooper Kupp makes no sense in this game. Next up for me, this one, you know, pour me a little tall glass of haterade, but
Okay.
Sam Darnold, Ryan.
Yes.
To throw an interception over a half, minus 110, minus 115.
Yeah, we must be doing that thing like when chicks are on the same cycle.
Our prop cycle is synced, Ryan.
He's got 5 out of 6 games.
Yeah, and it's funny.
It
Doesn't come in bunches. It's just like every game he's good for one, except one game. All the other games he's thrown an interception so far. Rams are decent at forcing them. They've had 6 games. They've forced 5 interceptions. I'm pretty sure it's one each game as well.
Why is this minus 115?
Yeah, well, it's weird because I think people see Sam Darnold and it's like, oh, he's having a really good year, and he certainly is. But the interceptions are still there. They're pretty consistent. You know, you have the whole. I'm sure there's some aspect to it of.
I'm sorry, it's not minus 110 on DraftKings right now.
Yeah,
I mean, this is. I would expect it to be. It should be like a minus 125, minus 135 interception.
Yeah,
the way that he's playing.
And I think Sean McVay would know maybe a couple things of like, oh, hey, Kevin O'Connell, they're running a version of the Rams offense. Hey, why don't you sit back here and cover 3 against old Sam Darnold?
He's seen O'Connell's girlfriend wife. He's gonna want to impress her.
She was very attractive. We ran into her. Yeah, I mean, so Kramer, you're also on the Sam Darnold.
But yeah, that's annoying.
Sam Darnold interception.
Also, now in hindsight, I should have seen this coming.
Well, I did mention I love Sam Darnold to throw an interception. So
yeah. Also, you just have to look at the game log.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy one here. Terrell, what do you got? What's another prop you like for Thursday night?
Well, I saw my dog Steffi Smalls in the chat.
Oh,
and there. Every time, and I lie to you not, every time I ask her for a prop, it's a longest completion prop. It actually really annoys me because I don't bet them that often. And I'm like, gosh, can I get another prop? But no, she's like longest completion. Well, Tutu Atwell has been very, very good for the Rams recently. And I think that now looking at with Cooper Kupp coming back, Atwell's been getting a lot of the targets. He led the team in targets the past 2 weeks, even though he was third in snaps. So when they put him out there on the field, they're drawing up plays for him. I think Cooper Kupp is going to get a lot of the short yardage work, and I think that finally we're going to see Tutu Atwell take the top off the defense like we wanted to see, like he done last season. He's going to do more of it in this game. I think he's due for a really, really big completion. He's been over this line in 4 of his last 5 games. So give me Tutu Atwell over 18.5 longest completion.
Ooh, a little Tutu love. Yeah, I mean, again, the Vikings are so bad to the receivers. I think there will be room for not only Cooper Kupp to eat, but some of the secondary guys. Jordan Whittington. It was weird. He was active, but then clearly not 100%.
Don't bring it up, Sean.
Everyone in the fantasy community was enraged. How dare you? How dare you? Blah blah blah. It was very funny to see everyone get so
angry.
Mad. I'm gonna give one, and this is courtesy of Rhythm. This is a DGen prop if I've ever heard one.
DegensOnly.
SportsGamblingPodcast.com/RITHMM in Rhythm. With their props, they just launched the new NBA product, but the NFL, they're doing very well. Been using a bunch of their models to help dominate this season. Get your 7-day free trial. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/RITHMM. This is a pretty funny one. Justin Jefferson under a half rushing yard. That's right. You're getting it at even money. I just love watching a game with this as one of my props. Justin Jefferson under a half rushing yard. So essentially, if he gets one rushing yard, you're screwed. Now, there's a couple different ways you can get this. Obviously, if they'll be doing some type of reverse if Justin Jefferson has a rushing attempt. Now there's a chance the Rams blow it up and you lose yards there. Okay. Justin Jefferson, he has had one rush so far this season for 3 yards. Okay. And that was last game. Here's my thought process. If you're going to have if you're going to have a trick in your bag, aka Justin Jefferson rushing attempt, you just burned it against the Detroit Lions. The Rams now have film on the Justin Jefferson rushing play. If you were planning on using it Thursday, you'd be an idiot to burn it on Sunday because you wouldn't have time to add that play into your bag of tricks, let alone you're going up against a guy who probably knows all your tricks. Justin Jefferson is not getting a rushing attempt on Thursday. He's not getting a yard. Wow. I'm drawing a line in the sand. I just love that the AI algorithm, this is what they came up with. I looked into it. I love the angle.
I looked into it.
He's got one.
I had to make sure it was real.
Every other game, he hasn't had an attempt or a yard. The only reason this is probably there is because last game he had a carry for 3 yards. I don't think he gets one. So give me Justin Jefferson under a half rushing yard.
Did I inspire you with my Chris Godwin play?
How did Chris Godwin? Did he? Not?
It didn't. You know. Well, you saw how that night.
Yeah,
I put him in a body
a little
bag.
hex on Chris Godwin. Jalen McMillan did get home though, Ryan. And shout out to everyone who tweeted me. I think the Baker Mayfield rushing yards were a last leg of a lot of people's parlay, and he got it on that last drive, and there were some good reactions. So glad that was a winner for the folks. Kramer, what's another prop for the listeners here?
I mean, shout out to the books that still put up the sack prop.
Yes. I won't real quick. Sports with Scott, aka
who?
I'm pretty sure this is our good buddy Scott Reichel.
Are we sure? Maybe it's a different Scott.
Well, he is a Yankees fan. He's got a Yankees profile icon going. But he is on the Dodgers. If you listen to the World Series preview, because Scott believe that. Gets rid of all emotion.
Scott.
Yeah. And he's pointing out, this is a great point. Jefferson only had the one carry because of a double reverse pass where he scrambled. That's really how, if this doesn't go well, it's going to be because of that, because Jefferson, they do use to throw the ball sometimes. So
it's
yeah,
Scott that's for him to know that. Like Scott is the person that would know exactly what play that run was.
Yeah, I missed that. Good point though. And again, he's not going to rush for 3 yards or 2 yards or 1 yard. I'm going to bet big on this round. I'm going to try and max out on this.
Well, is that responsible?
Hashtag gamble responsibly. Kramer, what do you got?
What's the max bet on Justin Jefferson?
I know. What kind of limits are they taking? I'm going to do a deep dive. I'll report on social, or maybe tomorrow's episode. I'll have a full report with what I was able to get down on this. Kramer, what do you got?
All right. Well, we've played a field goal prop this season. We've played a points prop this season, Sean. We've not played a total. Well, there's 2 things we haven't played. We have not played total field goals yet, but what I'm going to play is total field goal yards over 124 and a half.
Okay.
What kind of show am I on today?
Yes.
Justin Jefferson under half a yard.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I always like to give out a kicking prop because people get angry at kicking props.
Yes,
for one.
They do. The audience hates them, but they've been money in prime time.
Specifically on Thursday, and instead of just taking the over 3.5 field goals, with the way these NFL kickers are jabbing themselves in the leg with the juice before the game, and that's why they're all popping their hamstrings. You wonder why all these guys are popping their somehow in warmups? They're pulling hammies and popping groins. It's because these guys are getting juiced up in the leg. They're going over to Germany. They're doing special treatments.
They're doing the Christian McCaffrey.
Anyway, a 60-yarder. Every one of these guys kicks 60-yarders now. Like it's nothing.
So 124. That's you're saying maybe
my logic,
3 field goals, right?
Well, my logic is to to win when you go over 3.5, of course, you have to hit 4 field goals.
Yeah.
I believe we can get over on 3 field goals with the yardage. So I'm going to play a little bit of a risk on the floor there. And I also don't think these guys are going to settle for short field goals.
No, I'm with you. I think both are somewhat aggressive. You're in SoFi, which is a beautiful open air stadium with a roof that is ideal kicking conditions.
I mean, basically, if we get a 50-yarder, we flip the odds. So over 124.5 field goal yards. This used to only be available for the Super Bowl, Sean. What a time we live in. What a time.
Terrell, what do you got? What's another prop you like?
I wish I had an obscure one like you guys, but
it's okay. It's okay.
We'll keep the fate of the Vikings going here with Matthew Stafford over 237.5 passing yards. Only over in 2 of 6 this season, but again, he's getting Cooper Kupp back this week. Minnesota has been suspect to the pass before, even in a negative game script. We can still get here. In fact, Minnesota's given up this number in each of their last 5 games. They've given up over this number. So Matthew Stafford, a gunslinger. I know we're going to get an interception, but he's going to get a bunch of attempts, and 300 yards and an interception sounds like a Matthew Stafford day. So I like backing Matthew Stafford here.
Yeah. I mean, this is a get loose, save the, do you, and as this is a question for both of you guys, do you think there's any truth to the Cooper Kupp trade stuff?
I think no, yes and no. I think that obviously they would listen. Why wouldn't the Rams listen?
Yeah, I guess they're probably fishing around, realizing like, hey, maybe we can peak our, kind of look ahead to next year. I think Matthew Stafford being traded, that is complete bullshit. But I do
Giants
think
are calling apparently.
You know what it was? They saw Amari Cooper and Devontae Adams both go for the price that they got, and they said, "Oh, we're definitely getting a first for Cooper Kupp. Let's just go see if anybody's willing to do that."
Yeah, no, I think they probably leaked to Diana Rossini the story of, hey, we're open, hoping that maybe a team, a playoff Super Bowl contender, a lot of the Chiefs, would decide to go all in and bring in Cooper Kupp. I mean, if I was the Chiefs, I would certainly trade a 1st round pick for Cooper Kupp. I mean, fuck it. You got this window with Patrick Mahomes. Why not maximize it? I mean, it's not great EV long term, but you're you already have some young receivers, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, that you can develop around. They're just unfortunately, with Rashee Rice, he's done for the season. So you have like a long-term plan for receiver. Cooper Kupp feels like the perfect Band-Aid. I don't know. Kramer, would you trade a 1st rounder?
No. 2nd round.
Okay. Ryan's playing hardball. I would just,
you can't trade
cave.
the 1st round.
It's for what do you
don't need him that bad.
But what have the Chiefs done with their 1st round picks? Come on.
It's fair.
Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
It's fair.
I mean,
I think the Cooper Kupp rumors are more true than the Matthew Stafford rumors.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think there's like a 30% chance Kupp gets moved. I would be shocked.
Zero. There's no way you trade your quarterback mid-season. Like no way.
Well, especially Sean McVay. Like he had other options. He's in for this season. Why would he want to blow this season up? Everyone goes, oh yeah, you got to look ahead. You're not winning the Super Bowl this year. It's like, yeah, football guys don't think like that. They're not, oh hey, we're gonna lose. We're gonna start tanking. Yeah, maybe that last month of the season, but I mean, look at the Browns fans. They're talking themselves into Jameis Winston, winning some games, sneaking into that 7th spot in the playoffs. Like NFL, things have to be horribly wrong for you to consider punting or tanking. Maybe if you're the Panthers and the tank has been forced upon you, you consider your options, but. And Steffi pointing out that reliable source Crack Rock said the Stafford trade was BS. So that's all I need to hear. If Crack Rock is saying it's no go,
I want to know if Crack Rock's been to the Diddy parties.
Well,
he runs in those circles.
He has some powerful connections, Ryan. Hey, we got ladders, we got DegensOnly props, we got first touchdown bets. Before we get to those, shout out to BetUS, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Ryan, just looked at my crypto balance and it was
Really?
It was a little bit higher because I just received some Bitcoin from BetUS. Very quick payouts, very easy process getting paid from BetUS. Always recommend depositing and withdrawing with cryptocurrency. If you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS, use the promo code SGPN, you can get a sweet 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. They're giving away a 1960 Ford Mustang convertible. Thing looks pretty sick. BetUS has been in business for 30 plus years. America's favorite sportsbook. Play from anywhere. Highly recommend getting a BetUS account, toss an SGPN a bone, and use our link so they know we sent you. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS, promo code SGPN. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Terrell, I'll let you have the honors.
Oh.
What are we doing here for a ladder bet? What do you like as far as ladder opportunities?
Well. I
Now this
couldn't
is a
get off of
beanstalk sound effect, but it still works.
I couldn't get over Cooper Cup, man. I just
Yeah.
I don't know how he doesn't catch like 10 balls. Like they give up all the pass to the number 1 receivers. I think he's fine if they're rolling him out there. They've been so cautious with him up to this point. If you're going to play him on a short week, he's clearly okay. Like you think he's going to be able to do it. So I'm sitting there and I'm staring down him at 6.5 receptions to begin the ladder. Little, as CJ calls it, the little step stool, first part of the ladder.
Yes.
But then it gets diabolical because you can go up to 8 at plus 250. You can take him. Oh, wait, I got changed off my screen. There we go. So you could take him to 8 at plus 250. You can take him to a 9 at plus 450, and you can get him at 10 at 8-1.
10 catches is 8-1.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
I feel like he's gonna average 10 catches. That's I would play it up to 11 catches.
11?
Cooper Cup reception ladder was my ladder as well. I will give out a different ladder though to mix things up. Kramer, what do you have for your ladder?
Similar ladders, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm on the Cooper Cup. I'm on the Cooper Cup receptions.
Little synergy going on there.
Yeah, I have a pivot for my ladder. I'm trying to see how high I can get the numbers up. But Kramer, give the good folks what you like for your ladder Thursday Night Football.
Okay, so slightly in competition with the great ladder Terrell just gave out, but we're gonna go to the Kyren Williams receiving yards.
Okay.
He's gone over, and we're just going to right to 25 plus 175. He's gone over this a couple times this year already. No big deal. Then we get to 40 yards, Sean. Guess what that price is? 475.
Woo.
He's been over that a couple times last season. And then the last bar, 50 yards, which he did go over last season, has not been there this season. It's 8-1 for 50 yards or more. I do think this is a game that's going to be opened up. You look at the way that Minnesota plays defense. They're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that the run game is not what they get beat by. And I think Stafford's going to have opportunities. And I think assuming the offensive line can hold up against the blitz, having Cooper Kupp back is going to make the blitz irrelevant. And I think between Cooper Kupp and Kyren Williams, this is one swing pass to beat the blitz to Kyren Williams. Bang.
Yeah, like it.
Do you like it or love it?
I mean, obviously the Cup stuff I love. Kyren Williams I like. Ryan, I'm going to go across the board.
Okay.
Here and look at Minnesota's running back for a potential receiving yards ladder. Aaron Jones. And shout out to friend of the program, Adam Rosenberg. He sent me some of the props he likes. One of which was,
this is interesting. Makes me think you're going to pick the Vikings.
No. One of which was Aaron Jones longest reception over 12.5. He's hit that 5 straight games. He only gets like 2-3 catches, but if he does, like, let's say he gets 5-6 catches, Aaron Jones certainly capable of breaking some open. He has a game where he had 159 receiving yards, so he might be able to get the kitty out of the tree. Rams bottom 3 in DVOA versus the running backs, not great as far as some of their pass coverage against a guy like Aaron Jones. So starting it out at 25, 35 you're plus 129, 55 plus 287, 75 666 mark of the beast.
Whoa.
And I'll take it to 95 yards.
My God.
Is plus 1707. So you're up there in the clouds swatting the drones. But yeah, Aaron Jones to have a big game receiving yards, I think is certainly a good angle to play against this Vikings defense, against the Rams linebacker. So I'm in on it. All right, so we got the ladders. Do we want to do first touchdown bets? Yeah, that's a good spot to do it. Kramer, what do you got for first touchdown bets? I'm going long shots only, more or less. But what do you got?
Well, what's your take on the Hockenson thing? Because my thoughts. I mean, if you look at it from a matchup perspective, you want to attack the Rams with the tight end.
Well, and that's why it's kind of tough doing the show right now, because we don't, and I don't know if we will get any clarity really before kickoff. They're going to say Hawkinson's a go. I'm skeptical he's going to be 100% coming off that injury. Like, this is the guy. This is his first time seeing live action this season.
He's also been a
hasn't
decoy
played
before
in a long time. Yeah, you're right.
When like not 100%.
So for me, I do think the backup tight ends for the Minnesota Vikings are interesting in the first touchdown market, interesting in the anytime touchdown. Johnny Munt is only 20-1 ish. I know they were using him a little bit more when Hawkinson's banged up. I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to go Josh Oliver, 65-1. He already has a touchdown on the year, had a catch last game. Just any of these Vikings tight ends against the Rams linebacker, I think, is a good spot. They cut Robert Tonyan, so obviously they are planning on bringing Hockenson back. But Josh Oliver, you look at his snap counts; it's right there with Munt neck and neck. Munt did get has gotten the higher share of targets and routes, but I don't think it's that crazy that Oliver gets the first touchdown. So 65-1 for him. This is another guy in the Minnesota long shot market. CJ Ham is an interesting play in my mind. Maybe Aaron Jones gets a little gassed on one of those long receptions. CJ Ham, running back for the Vikings. He had a rushing touchdown against the Jets. It was a 2-yarder. So they have some history of using him near the goal line. He's been getting some snaps, nothing crazy, about 12 or 10 a game. He's 65-1. I think that's fun. And then on the Rams side, I'm going to go Davis Allen, backup tight end for the Rams, 65-1. He already has has 2 targets this season so far. One was in the red zone, but 65-1, and he had a massive jump as far as snap count last game. Maybe he loses some of that with Cup being back, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep running some 12 personnel. Yes, they have Cup. Yes, they have Atwell, but Whittington is still not 100%. I don't know how many snaps you can trust DeMarcus Robinson for. So I think Davis Allen's going to get some snaps, and then Colby Parkinson 18-1. That's obviously my favorite play of these. They try to throw it to him so many times in the red zone. He's had 6 targets, only 1 catch, which is crazy considering he's pretty efficient otherwise. So they're being stubborn with trying to feed Parkinson in the end zone, red zone, 18-1. Then CJ Ham, Davis Allen, Josh Oliver are the long shots. What are you doing, Kramer?
Yeah, so I'm with you. I think you can play any of the 3 guys that you mentioned on the Viking side, because I think the Vikings are the long shot to score first. I'll play the 2 longest shots. So give me CJ Ham 66-1, Oliver 65-1.
Oh, by the way, how you got a slightly better CJ Ham price.
I did want to
look at that. Look at that.
Well, I was gonna give you the Johnny Munt price is actually 35-1 right now.
Okay, so do we want to try and squeeze Munt in? To me, it was like Josh Oliver and Munt are equal odds, so why not take the longer price? But
I kind of think that Oliver plays with Hockenson. Like I think Hockenson and Munt are the rotational in the same kind of position in the 2 tight end sets.
Okay.
And Oliver is out there either way. That would be my gamble.
All right, I'll stick with Oliver.
And then on the other side for the Rams, just half a unit on Cooper Kupp, 9-1.
Yeah, that's probably. I mean, that
like
probably
Terrell
is
said it earlier. Like, let's not get cute with some of this. Let's make sure we have some Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, it was probably like the Bucks game, Mike Evans, and then hopefully Cooper Kupp doesn't completely blow out re-aggravate his high ankle, and then the Bucks just completely unraveled after that. Terrell, any thoughts on the first touchdown market? What do you like?
Yeah, give me both defenses for sure.
Ooh.
We're live for pick sixes on both sides, so let's just go ahead, throw that in there.
That's
auto
true.
play.
That's
that's
great
a good
handicap, Tro.
We have Cooper Kupp, of course, and
Yep.
don't let Scott hear you because I trash Scott anytime he takes anything under 10-1 for first touchdown. But Cooper Kupp, I think we can make an exception for this time. And then I finished it off with Johnny Munt. I do kind of want to go Hawkinson. I think that if he plays, he might be good. But Munt's been getting the run. They're so bad against tight ends, so I like Johnny Munt.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like Minnesota, if they get the first touchdown, it's going to be a tight end, and maybe some. Good transition to my DegensOnly parlay.
#DegensOnly.
I got one. I'm sitting here looking at 121 to 1.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. See, that's why I knew. I made
It's
two.
a DGen.
I made two. One that was above 100 to 1, and one that was below, because I knew somebody was gonna come out here with 100 to 1.
So give me Josh Oliver touchdown in there. Give me Cooper Kupp. I'm gonna say I'll go 10 catches. I'm debating back and forth the 100 receiving yards of the 10 catches. I'll go 10 receptions, alt receptions, and then Rams money line. That should get you north of 100 to 1. I'm looking at like 120 to 1 over on FanDuel. So Kupp 10 catches, Josh Oliver touchdown, Rams win the game. Little reverse correlation with the Vikings
10
anytime
catches,
with the Rams money line. Yes. I mean, that's what he had 14 the first game.
That seems like the easiest play on there.
Yeah. I obviously like the yards too, because he's a guy that's just going to rack him up one way or the other. I don't think one is particularly stronger than the other. I think they're both going to come in. So Kramer, what do you got?
So I basically just put everything together.
Oh,
it seems like there is some slight correlation here, but Kupp 8 receptions. So a little lower than you, but thought 8 receptions was a nice mini ladder. 110 receiving yards, anytime touchdown for Kupp. So those 3 things. Then the Rams money line, which stay tuned for the NFL Picks show. Then I have Stafford 300 yards. I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout. Stafford 3 passing touchdowns and Kyron Williams to go over 14.5. Couldn't get the alt number in the SGP. 104 to 1. 104 to 1.
Oh wow! All right.
And I know it's technically 7 things. They feel very related. They feel very related.
It's just so great. I just need 3 things to happen. Now, one of those things is Cooper Kupp catching the ball 10 times. So you could argue that was 10 things in and of itself, but I'm not there to say
I need 12 things to happen.
I just need 12 things to happen. I honestly do. I mean, I'm all for the DegensOnly parlay, but I try and tell people, to me, at least the best way to attack it is like the 2 touchdown stuff, one particular guy having a crazy thing where, especially in the same game, where like you look at some of these same game, it's like this guy to have over yards, this guy under yards, this guy a touchdown, that guy 2 touchdowns. Like, guys, you realize you basically have to get every play correct in this game log. Give yourself a decent scenario of like, hey, Cooper Kupp's gonna have a big game, Rams win, and Oliver randomly gets a touchdown. That to me is at least I could talk myself into it. That was
amazing how you did that.
Doesn't that? I mean, that should be even money. It's
Cooper Kupp has a big game with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Rams win.
Yeah, exactly. Easy enough.
And Kyron Williams has over 14.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, come on. 1 check down pass. Terrell, what do you got for DegensOnly?
I only need 3 things to happen.
Okay. Show
Matthew
off.
Stafford. Matthew Stafford throw for 300 yards. Rams -6.5. Biting kneecaps trend. They kill teams. They don't just win; they dominate.
Alt. I like that.
That's really smart.
Rams -6.5. Matthew Stafford 300 yards passing and Rams defensive touchdown.
Son
of a bitch.
120-1.
Let's go.
That's it. And I get the special teams too.
I gotta see what the price changes to if I add the alt game spread.
Joe, we're really Joe in the chat's really fired up. He's a Vikings fan. He's really mad. There's too many sharps on the Rams. He's going to the game. I mean, hey, if if all the sharps are on it, those plays I feel like do sometimes hit the wall. So Joe, if you're a Vikings fan, don't take it too personally.
Apologize.
Yeah.
Apologies.
he's
for the sake of our decent parlay, I hope they don't win.
He's really fired up. Again, I'm going to be betting on the Rams, and I hope you lose, Joe. But I hope you still have a great night in SoFi Stadium. It's an awesome venue.
If you swap out the Rams money line in my DegensOnly parlay and you put in the -6.5, it juices it to plus. It's 190-1 now. From 104-1. So
all right, well there you go.
Maybe I'll play a little of each.
You're giving yourself your own boost.
It's like when you go to the pizza parlor and you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
All right, let's talk Underdog entry. Before we do, of course, shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Go over there, Boostober. I mean, I got into a little bit of a rabbit hole with these NBA boosts. Every NBA pick'em.
How'd that go for you?
Great, actually. I hit our the one we gave out on the show, Ryan. Nas Reed, and shout out to Moonoff and Scott. Both loved Nas Reed. Higher 1.5 3-pointers made that cashed, and then put it with Jalen Brunson. They had a special higher 0.5 points. That was very easy cash there. Thanks for the guys for that one. And then I played my own Anthony Davis higher 40 PRA, sitting at 56 right now. Mikal Bridges fading his new look shot. Lower 2.5 3-pointers made. He only got 2, and with the 20% profit boost, that was really nice. So very good night, and sweating out a couple more here because again, they're all boosted. Get those boosts, and again, they're doing a bunch of like essentially a free square with the half yard, half point. Check them out, underdogfantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. Kramer. What do we got for our Underdog entry for Thursday night football? I think we obviously have to put in Cooper Kupp at some level here.
Yeah, we're not gonna overthink it. Just
okay.
Get the receiving yards, right?
I don't know. I'll let Terrell be the tiebreaker.
Or touchdown.
Terrell, do we do touchdown, receptions, or yards for Cooper Kupp? I'm in on all of them, but I'll let you decide. You are the guest.
Do we get a spicy with the?
Yeah.
Is it a little spicy?
Oh yeah, 1.37x.
Oh yeah, right. What? Absolutely.
That makes the decision very easy. Ryan, is there anything you like on the Viking side? Because I do think the Aaron Jones either receiving yards or longest reception.
Yeah.
Or Darnold interception, right?
Me and Terrell agree.
I also
the
like
interception's the way to go.
Okay, so I'm going to jot down.
Just throw Stafford in there too. Let's call it a day.
Darnold, higher reception. So Ryan, we got Darnold in there to throw a pick. We got Kupp to get a touchdown. You're the final leg of this trifecta. What do you got for the folks?
Ooh, let's see. Do we want? I don't really want to say anything. We didn't talk a ton about Jefferson. Let's just go with Stafford. I kind of like what Terrell's saying. Go interception each way, right?
Really?
You
don't see that kind of game?
Good for it.
No, I do. I just all right. Put it in there. Kupp touchdown. Each guy to throw an interception. I know Steffi Smalls always gives that out on Twitter. The old parlay of both, and just hope for disaster. And Joe will be excited as a Vikings fan when they intercept Matty Stafford. Stafford's definitely good. He's a gunslinger, much like Stafford. So Kupp.
Sean, it's really confusing when you bring up parlays when we're building an fantasy entry.
That was a completely different side conversation.
Yeah, okay, yeah, this is it's It's confusing to me and the audience.
So Cooper Kupp higher touchdown, Darnold higher an interception, Stafford higher an interception.
50% boost.
Oh
Does
yeah,
that work?
Just dropped in the 50% boost. So if you got the 50% boost in your queue, it's 11.83.
What's your max, Sean?
My max is $100.
Fuck,
right?
mine's 50.
Yeah, well, you gotta stop playing so small.
Oh.
You gotta step up to the big dog.
Terrell, do you think it's because I'm too sharp?
Yeah, wait.
Be honest.
No, 100%. So I'm not going to name the book, but there was a book, and I have been killing them recently.
Really?
And they just dropped my. You know how they give you boost and all of that, and it's a max bet. They just dropped the max bet. Why would you drop the max bet? And I'm killing right now.
Well, because you're
It's
too
corporate
sharp.
gambling. They're out to get us.
Yeah.
So Terrell, what do you like? WNBA season just wrapped. Obviously, everyone tuning into the NBA gambling podcast. What are your before we let you go here? What are your big season long takes for the NBA season? Any teams you're looking to fade? Maybe some surprise picks in the awards market. What are you looking at in the NBA?
Well, there's this little white boy from Maine that went to USA basketball and absolutely torched everybody. And I mean, this is the big USA basketball team as well. So yeah, they're pooper for Cooper. I've been heard the name has been called tank for I don't know, but they're gonna tank. And there's a bunch of bad teams that are horrible at basketball. And I think a bunch of these teams are going to see the season writing on the wall that they're not going to do anything. And they're just going to tank. In fact, the Raptors player already said, why would we try to win games when we know we're not going to win the championship? Let's just develop talent. So I love the Raptors win total under. I love the Nets win total under. Shoot, let's throw the Wizards in there too. I love Wizards win total under. All these teams are going to be tanking for Cooper Flag, who really, really might be him.
Yeah, I mean, Raptors under on the win total. I always point out they are a sneaky home spot. So they randomly show up catching some points as a home dog, but don't expect them to have a bunch of wins
next
season.
time on the NBA.
As the league turns. What's the big drama in the NBA, Terrell? Because usually there's something. Last year it was Ja Morant.
His toy guns.
Is the drama this year just Bronny James?
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our league.
Will Bronny ever score a point? Will he get in some games? Is it weird his dad is pushing for him?
Yeah, and that whole narrative about him seeing his dad's dick in the locker. I mean,
I don't know if that's a national narrative.
That's not a national.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. Bronny 0 for 2, 3 minutes, 1 offensive rebound.
Underdog tried to give out that free square. It didn't work out very well.
Did not get that point. Any drama we should be staying tuned to for the NBA gambling podcast, Terrell?
So it's very, very sneaky. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but last season at the end of the playoff run, Pat Riley went out and said, wow, I really wish Jimmy played more. I really wish, they were healthy.
Oh, yeah.
He has all these things to say. I wish he was healthy and was able to play more. And Jimmy came back in media day and said, yeah, I heard it. I internalized it and all. There's something there. There is something there. And if that boils to a head and Jimmy wants out, then I think Jimmy going anywhere else could be crazy. So I'm expecting some crazy wild trades by the time the deadline comes. And one of these stars, whether it be a Jimmy Butler over in Miami, who might be disgruntled, or he could have a really good season and use it as fuel. Or you could have the Clippers, who are a dumpster fire, and they just sell off Kawhi Leonard and James Harden to the highest bidder. So it could be a possibility either way. But basically, you should understand a lot of teams in the league suck, and a lot of teams are probably going to be looking to sell their stars soon.
Kawhi Leonard reminds me. Have you ever seen that meme, Terrell, of the record player that someone is giving away and they have a piece of paper on it and it said broken but might be fun to fix. That's what I think of Kawhi Leonard. Like, he is the NBA version. Hey, this guy who never plays but was awesome that one year. Do you guys want him? No, I think we're good. All right, Terrell, appreciate it. And let's smash some props. Appreciate you calling in. Make sure you follow Terrell. Check him out, obviously, on the NBA A Gambling Podcast. And check him out at Really Rel __ on X, at Really Rel _ on X, NBA Gambling Podcast, all that and much more. And of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Lasers are very focused right now, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.